Where to begin? Let's begin.
So almost 10 years ago, right? 9 years ago, 10
Let's
years.
begin at the college because that's what we was talking about offline, and then we'll get into a little bit of Adam's story and what he's doing now. But let's get into the college. So tell the people what kind of basketball player is Adam? What athlete are you? So if you can give me a person in the NBA or a football player that you can say I play like him, or these three, 2 to 3 people. Like so for me, it would be Rondo, and then I got the edge of Kevin Garnett, and then give me man, I wasn't too much of a score, but give me who's a defensive player. Give me like I wouldn't say Kawhi Leonard, but give me a Gary Payton. That's me, a Gary Payton, Kevin Garnett, and a Rondo. That's like my style. That's how I would say Ray, basketball player. Those would be my guys that I could.
That's really impressive. You did that good. That's almost good. I would say get GP and Garnett for sure would be you. And then Rondo's kind of quiet. You were always one of those talkers on the court, which I appreciate. I appreciated that. Like I like to hear stuff, on the court, especially when you're on my team. Yeah. I like to hear stuff like that. So I can see those two for sure. Me, oh man, that's tough. I mean, I would say definitely the killer mentality. Like I would say I'd have to take Kobe's mentality because I was always the game first, myself last, whatever I could do, to put myself in. I was kind of right in the middle. I wasn't, big because I wasn't, the biggest guy on our team, but I wasn't small either. So I was kind of right in the middle. So I would say, again, maybe like a KD type.
Yeah.
KD type, that falls in between because I did like to shoot outside, but I was bigger, so they used me inside. You know what I mean? So, and then I would say like a team captain, I want to be kind of clutch. I always like Chauncey Billups. You know what I mean? He was always – clutch, big shot type of thing. That was what I always wanted to, at least portray to myself.
Yeah, I can see that. You went pretty high. You said my man said KD and Kobe. He's like, no, I'm like up here. I can see pieces of KD and Kobe in your game for sure, especially now. Like when I seen you like online and how you ball, because you always had that edge. And
I definitely worked on my shots since then. Since that time, my shots always been unorthodox. It's not very pretty, but for some reason it works. It works for me. So, man, now that I'm thinking about it, who is that guy that Sean Marion shoots real crazy? Real crazy, but it's not that ugly. I
wouldn't compare to Sean Marion.
No. But yeah, my shots always unorthodox, and I've got it to be much more accurate as of late. So
yeah. So where would be the highlights you think of our illustrious Oklahoma State days as a spokes? I know I played for about a year, 2 years, but what were your highlights?
Highlights as far as games or as far as just memories.
Period. Let's just period. Games,
okay.
Memories as an athlete, because I think they're both intertwined. So when you think about like an athlete's lifestyle, people sometimes just see like on the court, but then when off the court of practicing, and then also the memories of like, yo, man, we were practicing. Let's go out. Let's go have a good time.
Right.
That's of a lifestyle.
I think that there's a slew of memories. I mean, the Colvin Center, just going over there in the cold. It was cold those mornings, man. I remember leaving the dorm room in the snow, going over there, and I'm thinking to myself like, "There's no way I'm out here actually doing this." You know what I mean? I'm out here. I'm pushing the basketball practice.
In the morning, we had to get up. What time?
Man, I think it was like what time we had to be there? About 5:30. something like that.
Clock 6 a.m. I think it was.
Yeah. But to get there, we were kind of far, and it was uphill, and we pushing. We didn't have no transportation, so we were pushing out there in the cold. Got there, my hands were freezing. I remember those mornings. Those winter mornings were brutal, but so we would push to practice in the mornings. I think those were some of my fondest memories because we're all sleepy and none of us want to be there, but we're there. You know what I mean? So it makes it worth it because you're like, man, at least these dudes are waiting on me. Because I remember one time I overslept. And I remember Jay. I don't know how Jay made it into my dorm. Because my dorm was like one of the ones that you needed the keys to get in, and I don't know how he went inside, but he busted inside. He got the key to my dorm, like literally my room. I don't know how he went inside. He's like, "Yo, you're late." Oh, you know what I mean? Of course, I get up all scared. You know what I mean? I was a rook. You know what I mean? This was my first year there, so I got up. I just followed him out all quiet because I knew I was in trouble. But those are the memories that I hold. I cherish. Now because. They kind of molded me to who I am now and, gave me the same work ethic that I expect, from anybody working with me or, me moving forward in my career. So I really like those memories. As far as games, I like the out-of-town games the most just because I feel like we were all excited, to be, on the bus and on the team. And we had the jumpsuits and, it was nice. So I think that was out-of-town games. We went to Mizzou. Mizzou was a good game. I remember that Mizzou game. The facility was nice. I remember those games pretty vividly. But that tournament was nice. And then those what were they called? The roundups or whatever they do at the Gallagher Iba. We'd play there at home in Oklahoma. We'd play with the.
What was it?
What was it called?
Homecoming? No, was it?
Was it homecoming? It was a wheelchair bash or something. I don't know.
I think that was the call. Wheelchair bash. I think that's what it was.
Yeah. Those were epic. We'd get the actual players and put them in chairs.
Yeah. Was you there when you played against Marcus Smart? Was you? No, I don't think he was there.
No. It was Marshall Moses at the time. I think he was a big. Yeah. Marshall Moses was up there. Des Bryant was playing football there. He showed up. Yeah. So it was a cool little time to be a Cowboy at that time.
Yeah.